Good morning, 8th grade class. I hope you guys are doing well today. All right, so we're now taking another lesson on punctuation. I know it's your absolute favorite in the whole wide world. Today, kind of going along with yesterday, we learned about semicolons. Well, today we're learning about colons. Now, we all have a colon, but we're not talking about that kind of colon. This is a colon that's used in a sentence. So, let's go ahead and get started. A colon, where is my marker? A colon, you know, these are the two little dots that you see. Usually we see it with time all the time, like it's 12:01, which is actually not right now, but this is one way that you can use a colon. Most people get this right, so we're not going to spend a lot of time on that. Colons are mainly used to introduce a list of items, especially when the list comes after the following. Okay, so that's kind of something you would have in a sentence. Now, you can have a list of items separated by commas, and you don't necessarily have to have a colon, but you would use a colon in certain circumstances. So look at this first sentence. The test will cover the following: colons, semicolons, hyphens, and commas. So you would put a colon right here. And if the rule hasn't changed, if you were typing, I believe you always put two spaces after a colon, except with time. So in a sentence, usually you have two spaces there. Now, if that has changed, just blame it on me being a dinosaur. All right, look at the next sentence. Caroline has 3 brothers, Bennett, Simon, and Hayden. So your colon would go here. Now, it's important to note that you never put a colon between the verb and the complement, like the direct object or the predicate nominative or an indirect object. So if we said Caroline's 3 brothers are Bennett, Simon, and Hayden, you wouldn't do a colon because you'd have a verb and then the object. So you have to make sure that it kind of stops and then you're just adding your list. Okay, so let's look at this one. Oh, also, you never put a colon right after an object, well, right after a preposition. Sorry, I almost said object, the preposition, but right after a preposition. So like you wouldn't want to say of colon and then start listing things. Okay, so look at this one. On your walk, look out for poison ivy, poison oak, and thorny bushes. Okay, so I left a space here on purpose. So you might be tempted to put a colon here, but we know that for, in this case, would be a preposition. So you wouldn't want to say, on your walk, look out for colon, poison ivy, poison oak, and thorny bushes. You could actually just let that be your sentence without the space. You wouldn't need a colon. But if we were going to put a colon here, we would need something else in between. So you could put, look out for 3 hazards. Colon. Okay, so here's your object of the preposition. That's okay, it kind of finishes that phrase. And then you say poison ivy, poison oak, and thorny bushes. That is correct. Without this, it would have been fine with no colon. So you don't have to use a colon if you have a series of items or a list. But sometimes it's kind of nice and it makes your sentence sound better. Look at this next one. In the trunk, I found an old photo, some vintage baseball cards, and a trophy. Okay, so that would be fine like it is. Or if you wanted to use a colon, we would have to have something else here because this is a verb. You can't put a colon right after a verb. So in the trunk, I found, let's see, we could say the following items. And then colon, an old photo, some vintage baseball cards, and a trophy. All right, so that's basically how you use colons. We are going to be doing an exercise on Google Classroom, and you will have these notes to go along with it. Remember, I'm going to try to trick you. I'm going to put a colon after a verb. And you're going to have to say, no, that's not right. Or I might put a colon after a preposition, and you're going to have to think, oh, that's not right. So if you don't remember what those things are, you can always use your handy-dandy notebook. It has all of your prepositions listed here. And then you have You have your verbs, different kinds of verbs. You have your complements. So that can help you too. But I think that you will do just fine. And remember, if you have the following and you have some things that come after that, you're probably going to have a colon after following, because that's kind of one of those little key terms that you see quite a lot. So you guys have a great day. I miss you, and I hope to see you soon.